Hello boys and squirrels, welcome back to my channel. So in this video, I'm going to show you guys how I do my full coverage foundation look as well as kind of contouring. I really love like a matte finish because I have super oily skin, so a lot of these products that I'm going to be showing you today are more geared towards oily skin. I just threw on my eyebrows and my lips for this intro. They are not included in the video because I'm going to do a separate eyebrow tutorial eventually. Oh my god, I got a new tattoo. It's a pretty little lipstick. Oh, it just started to peel, so it's like super crusty, but I love it, and thank you, Jacob. He does such a good job every single time. I will put his Instagram in the description box down below. If you're in San Diego, definitely check him out because he does amazing work. So if you guys want to see how I did this super full coverage matte foundation look, then stay tuned. Okay, so the very first thing you're going to want to do is clean your face. I'm not going to go into too much of detail on how I do this because I'm going to upload a separate skincare video soon. Next, you're going to want to apply a moisturizer that's tailored to your skin type. A lot of people think that if you have oily skin, you shouldn't use a moisturizer, but it's actually super important because your skin needs it regardless of whether you are oily or dry. After I let the moisturizer set in for a little bit, I apply my primer. I'm using a primer that has no silicone in it because I feel like if you have oily skin and you use a silicone primer, it just makes all the makeup slide off your face. So use something that has more of like a lotion consistency. So I have a few different favorite full coverage foundations, but today I'm going to be using the Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Foundation. I found out about this about 6 months ago, and it is literally my holy grail of foundations. So you're going to take a beauty blender, and I actually mix two different shades together. I will list them in the description box. The reason that I love this foundation is because it is super full coverage. It's really thick, and I feel like if you have really dry skin, it might not work for you. But me personally, I have like pores that can be seen from space, so I really like this because it goes on top of my pores and it actually does a really great job of hiding them. So I'm just putting on a pretty thick first layer down of the foundation to start. And then you're just going to take a damp beauty blender and blend that out. Because this foundation is so thick, you're going to want to make sure that your beauty blender is damp enough and that you also blend everything completely so it doesn't leave you with any funny looking streaks. When I initially pour out the foundation, I start off with a pretty hefty amount because I put down my first initial layer and then I take whatever is left on my hand and I put that in all of my super oily areas. So because my pores are larger and my skin is oilier in these areas, I'm just going to take some setting spray and mist that onto my beauty blender before I blend out the areas where I just put the extra foundation. Don't forget to blend your foundation all the way down to your neck and make super sexy faces like I am right here. So now I'm going to add some concealer, and I use two different concealers. This first one that I'm using has more of a thinner consistency and matches my actual skin tone. So I put this concealer underneath my eyes and on my chin a little bit, and I also put it on any pimples that I have because you don't want to put a lighter foundation there. It's just going to make the pimples stand out more, so try to pick a concealer that's closer to your skin. You know the deal, blend that bitch out. So now I'm taking my second concealer, and this one is a lot creamier and thicker than the one that I just used previously, and it also is about 1 to 2 shades lighter than my natural skin tone. I pretty much put this in the same places that I just put the other concealer, and I also put a little bit on my forehead and my nose. This just acts as a natural highlight to brighten up my face, and I just like to put down that first concealer so it really conceals everything, and then this concealer kind of brings out like the brightness and the light to my face. If you're feeling extra frisky, you can add some setting spray right now, and then we are going to bake our pretty little faces. I tried to do that cute, like, YouTuber blowy deal thing. It didn't really work. But anyways, so we're going to bake our face. And if you've never baked before, it's not that hard. You essentially just take a damp beauty blender and dip it into a loose powder and put that anywhere where your concealer or foundation would normally crease. And try not to wear black, because then this happens. So just take a big fluffy brush, and if there's any excess on your face, wipe it off. And now we gon' contour. I'm just using an angled fluffy brush, and I'm taking a really light shade mixed with like a slightly darker shade. I try to use more cool toned contours because I'm so pale. So put that shade right in the hollows of your cheeks and kind of blend it up and outwards with the same brush. A lot of people were asking about my contour routine on YouTube and Instagram, and it's kind of disappointing because I don't really do much. I'm so pale that I feel like if I add too much contour on my face, I just look ridiculous and orange, and so I try to keep everything to a minimum. If you feel like your contour is too harsh in any spots, you can just take your beauty blender with the leftover foundation and kind of like tap over the areas. Whenever I contour, I do like to add blush on top because I feel like it kind of gives the whole thing like a finished look. But I just take whatever blush that I want to use and I put it right on top of where the contour is. Make your blush kiss your contour so they can make beautiful, precious little cheekbone babies, alright? That's what we're aiming for today. The funny thing about contouring and the whole trend in general is that like there's certain contour routines to do for certain face types. So if you didn't have a big forehead like I do, you wouldn't contour the forehead. So me personally, I contour my forehead because I have like a 5 head and it's huge and I want it to go away. So the best way to find out how you contour for your face shape would honestly just be to go and Google it, and there's all these different like charts showing you where you should put your contour depending on your face shape. So next we're gonna highlight, and I'm literally crying because I hit pan on my Becca highlighter, lol. I'm taking this on a smaller and denser brush than what I applied my contour with, and I'm putting it on my cheeky bones and just kind of like blending it out with that brush. I'm also putting it on my cupid's bow and on the very tip of my nose. And if you want, you can spray another layer of setting spray. But there you have it, boys and squirrels. I really love this routine. My makeup can stay anywhere from 5 to 6 hours before I have to touch up, and that subtle highlight just kind of adds back the life to your face. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video.